Hello and welcome to Out and About. I'm Diane Gonzalez. As spring approaches, many of us will be spending more time outdoors, and the Pioneers Park Nature Center has been a special place to explore the great outdoors since 1963. It's a sanctuary for wildlife and a great place to relax, explore, and have some fun. The Nature Center has special programs all year round, and joining me is naturalist Jamie Kelly to give us some details on what's coming up at the Nature Center. Jamie, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's start with the basics, which is the mission of the Nature Center.
Sure, yeah. Well, we interpret the natural history of Nebraska and the Great Plains. And we also want to just raise awareness and appreciation for the outdoors and nature and provide a wildlife sanctuary, so habitat for native species, and then also a peaceful retreat for people to come and just enjoy nature.
Now the Nature Center has grown a lot over the years. It started with about 40 acres. Now there's 668 acres.
Right.
Tell me what all the Nature Center encompasses.
Sure. So we're on the west end of Pioneers Park, which a lot of people enjoy Pioneers Park, and then they say, I've never came this far to the Nature Center, and they fall upon us. Or they drive through and they go on the bison loop and they get to come and see the bison. And so they know about the Nature Center because they come see our bison that we have out there. But the Nature Center, like you mentioned, is a lot more than just the road and the couple buildings that we have, but 668 acres total. About 400 of those acres is tallgrass prairie, and the rest is woodlands and wetlands. And then the Haynes Branch Creek runs through the Nature Center as well.
And there's also over 8 miles of trails. 2 facilities. Now the Chet Ager building is the one south of the road.
Right.
And the Prairie building is the newer one north of the road.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the Chet Ager building is what most people think of when they think of the Nature Center if they grew up in Lincoln. They think of that old sort of cabin-like building that has some animals in there and taxidermy and is sort of your Nature Center-esque type building. And then we also have the Prairie building, which that's where our offices are. We have more exhibits up there, our preschool programs. We have our preschool classrooms. And then we also have an auditorium in there that's rentable, so people can rent that for retreats or meetings.
All right. How many visitors does the Nature Center have every year?
Yeah, it changes a little bit. So especially in 2017, we saw a huge increase of visitors because of the solar eclipse. And so that was a busy summer for us. But on average, we have about 50,000 visitors that come into our buildings. And those are the ones we count. So we don't really have a good grasp on how many people just come out and hike on our trails, but our reach within all of our programs, so including our school hikes, our preschool program, our camps, things like that, and some of our outreaches, we reach about 80,000 people a year.
That's great. Well, let's talk about some of the programs that you have coming up. The Spring Equinox hike is coming up March 21st. What can people see when they go on this hike?
Yeah, this is a family-friendly hike, just for people to come out. Lots of times people enjoy the trails on their own, or they come out and they just visit a building. And so we really want to encourage people to hit the trails and have a guided experience. And so we'll see what flowers might be blooming in early spring, to look for signs of spring and what's out and about. Maybe even look if it's muddy out for tracks or scat. Some of those things that are out there and just fun to see. So it'll be our spring guided hike.
When you take groups out into the Nature Center, do the animals kind of stay away and hide a little bit?
It kind of depends. If you have a larger group, of course, it's going to be harder to hear and see some of those animals that might be out there. But you never know. Birds are always great because birds are always around the Nature Center, and a great thing that can really engage all ages of audiences.
All right, Wild Adventures is coming up. This is the annual Spring Festival. Wild Adventures is coming up the afternoon of Saturday, April 4th. And what can people enjoy at this event?
Yeah, like you said, it's our annual spring event. So we like to do some big public events that are free. And the Nature Center is free all the time, but some of our other programs cost money. And so this is just a free program for people to come out. We'll have some of our partners and collaborators there with stations or booths with information or animals, hands-on, crafts, just different things to do. And this year we're really focusing on promoting the City Nature Challenge, which is a worldwide event, actually. Communities all over the world participate. And so we'll be showing people how they can participate. And the City Nature Challenge takes place in April, I believe April 24th through the 27th. And it's free to participate, and we're just looking for people to make observations and record their sightings that they see in nature. And it can be flowers in your yard, or you could go to a nature place and look for insects or birds and things like that. So we'll be gearing that up as a part of Wild Adventures.
And this is a competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really fun. This is the first year Lincoln has participated. Omaha did it last year, and so we might challenge Omaha to see if who can get more sightings or more observations. And everything is recorded through the iNaturalist app, which is a app for your phone that you can take pictures of something that you see, whether it's a plant, animal, insect. And if you don't know what it is, other people are on there and they can help you identify it. So it's a really great app for anybody to use.
Well, we win the bike challenge every year, so maybe we can win this nature challenge.
I know, the pressure.
Too.
That would be really fun.
That'd be great. All right, every once in a while you have to clean up, and you've got a volunteer day to help clean up the nature center. What kinds of things will volunteers be doing on this day?
Sure. At our spring cleaning day, we're going to be cutting back some of the growth in our gardens from the previous year. So we always like to keep the leaf litter and some of the plant materials in the gardens because that provides habitat for insects and animals over the winter. But as new stuff starts coming up, we got to get all that old growth out of there. So we'll be cutting back plants in our gardens and landscaped areas is probably the main goal for this cleanup day. Every once in a while, there's some other like trail work, spreading mulch or picking up litter also, but family friendly. So this is a day where we just encourage the families to come out and help for a couple hours and help us clean up our gardens and landscaped areas. So not all parts of the nature center are just wild, so we do manicure some of them.
All right, and children are welcome as long as they're with an adult.
Exactly, yep, we hope the families come.
All right, let's talk about kids and summer. Folks are always looking for things for their kids to do, and the Pioneers Park Nature Center has some camps for ages 3 through 17. Tell us a little bit about the camps.
Sure, yeah, so 3 through 17, we have our discovery age, which is 3 to 6. So this is run by our preschool director. So it's that preschool age before you get into school. And this is just a Monday through Thursday half-day camp. So it's 9 to 11:30. So for those kiddos that aren't quite ready for a full day experience, and like I said, it's run by our preschool program. So it's getting outside and that taste of what summer camp might be once you get a little older. And then our explorer level camp is 6 through 13. And this age group, they are outside all day, hiking, exploring, playing in the creek, building forts, doing archery, yoga, canoeing, fishing, all sorts of outdoor experiences. Each week we plan a little bit different events and have themed weeks. So it's a little bit different for those campers that come all summer, but unique experiences too if campers just come 1 week. And those camps run June through July. And then we have an older kid camp, which is 14 to 17-year-olds, and this is our leadership camp. And what's cool about this camp is those campers that come that first week in June, then if they build their leadership skills and if they'd like to volunteer, they can be junior counselors through the rest of the summer for that 6 to 13 age. So it's a great program. And many of those campers that do the navigators level have been our campers when they were younger, and then they rotate and become counselors for us when they get to be 18 or older. So it's a really great program.
You get to see them grow up.
Exactly.
Now, I do want to mention there is a fee for those programs, and you just need to go to lincoln.ne.gov, keyword nature camps, or keyword pioneers. You'll find the link there as well. So when is the park open? Let's talk a little bit about the Nature Center hours. The park is open Mondays through Saturdays. Actually, I'm going to let you say what the hours are because I don't want to screw it up.
Sure, yep, so we're open 7 days a week. Monday through Saturday, we're open 8:30 to 5, and Sundays we're open noon to 5. And then we're open every day of the year except for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. And if you come visit us in the wintertime, you may notice that the Cheddiger building that we talked about is the older building. We do not have that building open during the week during the wintertime. So November through March, that building is closed just during the week, and then starting April 4th, I believe, it will be open 7 days a week through the summer. So,
all right, busy time out there. What's coming up? What's new for the overall future of the Nature Center?
Yeah, well, we just talked about our camp program and how impactful that program can be for those kiddos that start coming as young kids in elementary school and become counselors. And this camp used to take place in Wilderness Park. It was called Wilderness Nature Camp. And that had been a program since the 90s. And like I said, it's really a successful program. Unfortunately, a few years ago, the building that we had there had some vandalism, and we weren't able to continue camp there. And so we have a new building being built out at Pioneers Park Nature Center. This will be our education building is what we're calling it, but the primary use will be for our nature camps in the summertime, a new home base for our camp programs. And then we'll utilize it also for events and other programming throughout the year. So we're really excited about that. So if you come out and visit the bison or hike on our trails this spring, you'll notice some construction happening, and that's that new building.
And the Prairie Corridor on Haynes Branch is being developed. It's kind of a long-term project, but it will have an impact on the Nature Center as well, a positive impact.
Exactly, yes. We're really excited about that program too, and the partnerships with Spring Creek Prairie and the NRD and Game and Parks as well. And so a couple years ago, a new bridge got put in, I think it was 2016, that connected some of the trails within Pioneers Park to the Nature Center trails on our very south border. It's a crushed limestone trail now that goes out to what we call Coyote Point, which it dead ends right now. But eventually, yeah, that trail will connect through a prairie corridor, so land that is either restored or managed as prairie, and connect to the city of Denton, Conestoga Lake, and then down to Spring Creek Prairie. So one of the things that the Nature Center in Spring Creek and the Lincoln Parks and Recreation have been working on is a joint event to kind of get the word out about the Prairie Corridor. And so they're doing a bike run event in October. I believe it's October 11th, where people can run a 5K at Pioneers Park, then bike to Spring Creek Prairie, and then run a 5K at Spring Creek Prairie.
Ooh.
And you can do this in a team too, so you don't have to do it just individually. But more information should be coming out about that in March, and the proceeds of that event will go to support the Prairie Corridor.
Wonderful. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your hard work all year, connecting people to nature. It's very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As we go to break, we're going to take a look at what's happening at our local museums and galleries, and then Jeff Ma will join us from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.